going to share with you a simple executable model of a smart sound machine. The smart sound machine has three parts. It has a touch ring, a processor, and a light. The human controls the touch ring, so the way it works is if the person holds down on the touch ring or touches it for a period of time, it will turn the device on, and then when they tap that touch ring, it'll cycle through a variety of programs. The processor, the touch ring basically sends that information to the processor, and then the processor controls the light itself. The light can be on or off, and it can cycle through a variety of different colors, so red, orange, blue, purple, whatever you choose for it to be. So there's an interface between the touch ring and the processor by which signals from the touch ring can make their way to the processor, and then there is also an interface between the processor and the light called iLight. So we can have signals going from the processor to the light to be able to switch through those various colors. And then we also have the light of the color is set equal to the color of the light is set equal to the light color of the processor, so the processor can know what color the light is in at any given time. The way this works is based off of state machines that are assigned to each one of the parts. So this is the touch ring state. It's initially an idle. You have to touch it in order to activate the device. If you tap it at first and the device isn't on yet, it's not going to go ahead and do that transition to sending the next color. So you basically have to touch the light or touch the touch ring first. The processor is initially going to be in that off state. When it receives that activate signal from the touch ring, it's going to turn on, and it's going to start sending information over to the light itself. Let's see, I need to grab this light one. Okay, so then the light is initially off. It's going to receive a signal from the processor to turn on. When it's in this on state, it will start off in red. One particular thing to note is generally you should not be having a trigger on the initial transition. I only have that because how the processor is operating. Initially, it's going to basically send the light into the next color. So if I don't have that, it's immediately going to go into orange because it'll turn on and then send that switch color to me. So I put that first one on this initial transition into red. So then the way the whole execution works is I have an activity diagram that's the classifier behavior of the smart sound machine itself that basically just turns on all of these states, activates all the states of the different parts. And then we can see the interface between the touch ring, the processor, and the light. So we see that here's the interface between the touch ring and the processor. We'll see some signals being sent across that interface. Here's some of the signals here that will be sent. We can also see signals being sent from this proxy port over to this proxy port on the light. And then we also see that we have the value property of the light is set equal to the flow property that's defined in this interface block. That's the color set equal to a string. That's what this value type is here. And then that's also set equal to this light color that's owned by the processor block. That way, whenever this color or the light color updates, it will immediately update the light color for the processor too. So it'll have that information. So let's go ahead, let's run this and just see it in action. I'll slow it down a little bit. Because I'm slowing it down, you're not going to see this like immediate update. You're going to be seeing the values kind of go back and forth, but that's okay. So initially, we're in this idle state with the touch ring. We can go ahead and send that touch. It's going to send that activate signal. There we go, through the interface. We see it being sent there on the activity diagram. We're seeing that switch color is being sent. It's initially in the red state, and we can see that the color of the value property of this light is red, and so that processor also has that. So we can go through this tap a couple of times to just see these signals going back and forth. And we can see the value going back and forth. Notice how on these send signal actions, you actually specify the port. That way the internal block diagram knows where the signal is being sent from. Okay, and we'll go ahead and turn it back off. Okay, so I also have a simulation that I put together of this sound machine, and I did this initially in 2021. I think things have changed a little bit since then. So in order for me to pull up this timeline chart, I actually need to put the state machine for the light should be in underneath the light block. That's typical anyways for state machines. I didn't have that because I didn't want multiple instances of these behaviors running at the same time. But because I am now putting this in a different location, we're going to have two instances of this light state machine running, one from being pulled up by this activity here, and then one as well, basically, whenever the smart sound machine is going to become active, it's going to activate these blocks too. So we'll have a separate one running from just the light block being active. But let's go ahead, let's see what this does. Let me run this. So we have the touch ring, a GUI of the touch ring, so we can touch or tap. We have an image switcher of the light itself, which right now it is off, so no image is being displayed. And then we also see this timeline chart that's telling us the states that the light is in. So remember, the state machine basically went through states of being off, on, and then when it was in the on state, it could cycle through red, green, orange, purple, white, and yellow. So this is reflecting the states of the light machine, not the value property of it. Let's go ahead and touch. It's going to turn the light on, and then we'll go ahead and tap through it. We're in red, still on, orange. How does it cycle through? I think I did it via the rainbow colors, more or less. So we can switch through, we can see how long our light is in each state, which is pretty cool, and we can touch it to turn it off. So now our light is, our colors stopped, it's no longer in the on state, and it now is off.